Welcome back, everyone. This is Sly Client the Tech Dad. I'm back again with another video for you today. And today we have a special one for you. We have the Clash of the Titans. We have David against Goliath. We have the GPD Win Mini, the 7840U version, versus the GPD Win Max 2 from 2024, the 8840U version. Now, before we move forward, the number one question that I've received recently has been, which device is better for me? Should I get the Win Mini or should I get the Win Max 2? So we're going to answer that question for you today. And at the end of the day, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, my honest assessment of if I can only have one device, what would that be? The other things that we're going to cover in this video today are the top 3 things that I absolutely love about each of these devices. And lastly, we're going to cover 2 of the things that I think can be improved upon in the next iterations of these devices, or just things that I don't like in general. So with that being said, feel free to like and subscribe. If you've been enjoying my content, kick back, relax, and enjoy the video. So I'll be honest with you, I didn't know where to begin with this video. But after a moment or two of thinking it through, I had to go with starting with the GPD Win Mini. Because if you know anything about me, or you've listened to any of my content, you know that I absolutely love this thing. It's been fantastic, and it's been a great companion over the last 6 months that I've had it. Now, with that being said, I think the top thing that I absolutely love about the GPD Win Mini is its form factor. It is so pocketable, portable. You know, I love the fact that you can just close it up. As you can hear, you probably hear the clamshell. As a matter of fact, I actually sometimes love closing it up than I do opening up the device. But yeah, it's been wonderful. You know, you can, the portability, you can stuff it in your pocket, you can put it in your jacket. If you have a hooded sweatshirt on, you can take it on the go with you. It's never cumbersome at all to, take it out and, if you're going on an adventure for the day, to throw it in a bag or a sling pack. It's great in that regard. So that's like the first thing that I love about the GPD Win Mini. The second thing that I absolutely love about the GPD Win Mini is its display. So whether you have the 7840U model or you have the 8840U model that recently came out, I think that you're going to be pleased with both of these. So with the 7840U model that I have here, although as you can see, it's not OLED by any means. However, you do still get some really deep contrast and some of those like inky blacks that could maybe come a little bit close to OLED. Not saying that it is OLED, but it's certainly the best display that I've personally used when it comes to handheld gaming. And I've been enjoying it. I've also been enjoying the 120 hertz refresh rate that this screen has as well. So does the 8840U version. So, you do your comparisons. There's a lot of info out there on which one is better. I know that, the new one, the 8840U, has the variable refresh rate. This has, one of the negatives about this one is the fact that it doesn't have a landscape display. It's only portrait. That causes some issues in some older games from time to time. But at the end of the day, I've been able to overcome those obstacles and challenges, and I've been able to really enjoy this screen to the fullest. It is really, really nice to look at. So the last thing that I absolutely love about the GPD Win Mini is its flexibility. And what I mean by flexibility, I mean that you're able to utilize the back Oculink port here. You can hook this up to an eGPU dock. You can use it in that setting. I personally use mine with an RTX 4090 and the GPD G1. But you can use this in any scenario. You can use it hooked up to one of those docks, handheld to an external display. You can have that dock hooked up to it. You can have the Mini hooked right up to an external display and play from that. There's just so many different variables. But the main thing in terms of what we're talking about right now is the chill factor. You can just sit back, relax. It's literally the most comfortable gaming handheld device that I've ever used. And it just fits right in the palm of my hand. And it's really unmatched in regards to that aspect of the device. So that's the third thing that I think, and I know for a fact that I absolutely love about the GPD Win Mini. So as you can probably tell, I've been enjoying my time with the GPD Win Mini. it's been a fantastic device, as I mentioned. However, there are some issues, and one notable issue that I want to make sure that I mention first in this segment of things that I don't like about the device. It's hot. It gets hot. Holy smokes. Anything above 15 watt TDP, you're going to run into problems with. You're not going to want to game on it for a very, very long time, which is why I really converted this device to more of an indie device. Games that don't push the envelope, games that don't make the system run hot. And the biggest thing that I can tell you of why I really think the heat is a problem on this is because I caught myself randomly one day scrolling Amazon looking for gloves to be able to use while gaming with the GPD Win Mini. If I'm doing that, there's a problem. So please keep that in mind, as you kind of make your decision on purchasing this. There are different ways that you can use PTM to redo the thermal paste on the device. You have options to do that. There are videos out there that will give you instructions of how to go about it. But out the box, it's just too hot. I'm a GPD fanboy, as you can tell. The fact that I have to admit this to you really hurts. I hope they do a better job moving forward. And one last thing about the heat. I've checked with some folks who have the 8840U version of it, and they say the same thing. It's hot on their device as well. So there weren't many or that much of an improvement from the 7840U to 8840U. So the second thing that I dislike about the GPD Win Mini is its battery life. Now, I'm sure that comes to no surprise to you because this is a very small device, and to ask the manufacturer to actually put a bigger battery in a device like this is probably a tall task, or probably a tall engineering feat for them to really try to stuff a bigger battery into something like this. However, in order to compete with the big boys now, you got all of these different brands coming out with, 80 watt batteries, being able to extend the battery life out for a long period of time. They're going to have to be able to do something, because even though I love GPD products, it's really hard for me to defend the battery on a device like this. But at the end of the day, just know what you're getting yourself into. If you want that portability that I talked about, if you want the type of flexibility you're going to get with a device like this, well, you're going to have to sacrifice the battery life, because I'm really only able to get about an hour or so of playtime. And to me personally, I could care less. I'm a father of a 4-year-old. I barely have enough time to make these videos or even play games, to be quite frankly with you. But a lot of people are not in that situation, and they actually need more time to be able to game. So I'm speaking for those folks. So I would love to see GPD to prioritize a bigger battery for the next generation of the GPD Win Mini. And I think that if that happens, everyone wins in the end. So the GPD Win Mini has some very stiff competition, and that competition comes in with the GPD Win Max 2. And I've owned this for a little over a month now, and I've been loving it. It's been so fun to use, and it's been a different experience that I've ever used with any device in the history of me ever picking up any type of gaming handheld or laptop. It's just something completely different. So the very first thing that I love about this device, and I talked about it when I did the review, is the quality. This thing is as premium as you're gonna get or see on any laptop out there on the market. Just the gunmetal look to it, the sleekness and feel. You also have these back plates here that if you want to go into a professional looking mode and you're bringing this in the office and you don't want people to know that this is a gaming machine, it does it all regarding that. And I want to tell you, because I had a real life situation where I brought this to a work conference, and picture this. I get to the work conference, I'm sitting down, I have this GPD Win Max 2 sitting in my bag, I pull it out, I set it on the table. Before I could barely open it up, now we have about 8 people sitting at this round table, and before I could even open up the device, one woman 3 chairs around the right side of the table goes, "Oh my God, what's that? Oh, that's a new laptop? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's small." Next person goes, "Oh, that's really nice looking. That's very sharp. Are you using that for work? That's your own personal laptop?" Then my buddy next to me, he's like, "Did the boss buy that for you?" He's over here cracking jokes. This thing, if you think that just because it's small and it has a 10-inch display that it's not going to draw attention, forget about it. This device is not for you. This thing sticks out like a sore thumb because it's different than anything that anybody in any work setting, that you are going to encounter is going to have. So the fact that it's that different really, really just stands out. And I'll tell you, it's like, honestly, I'll look at it and maybe some people will say this is a stretch. Now, this is like a piece of jewelry. This is like an accessory. Imagine a business person walking in the office, you got a nice watch on your hand, you're working, you got the watch on your arm, the laptop's next to it. This is for the premium consumer and the folks that are into the niche types of devices. But in terms of gaming and everything too, it does it all, So that's the first thing, or the first reason why I absolutely love the GPD Win Max 2. So the second thing that I absolutely love about the GPD Win Max 2 is the good old Oculink port on the back here. Now, using the Oculink port, I'm able to use an eGPU dock. I'm able to connect my RTX 4090 to it. I'm also able to use my GPD G1. I'm able to use that particular GPU with it as well. But even more importantly, with the GPD Win Max 2, you're able to make use of AMD's Smart Shift feature. And I just find it fascinating and outstanding that a device like this is able to use that, because what it does is it's like a power management system to be able to manage the TDP or the power going into the device, managing the power going into the GPU and also managing the GPU. So if you're using an external dock, it would only utilize the amount of power necessary to power that device based on what the TDP you actually have it set to. So for example, instead of running, like for example on my Mini, a maximum of 28 watt TDP, I'm able to boost this thing up to 100, 110, 130, 150, and somehow using Smart Shift, it's able to balance and use that power to be able to shift it to the GPU when needed, but also able to shift it when it needs it on the CPU. So I think that's a fantastic feature. So, couple those two particular things, the GPD Win Max 2 being able to have the Oculink port, but also make use of that AMD Smart Shift feature, is one of the things I absolutely adore about this machine. So the third thing that I love about the GPD Win Max 2, and it actually kind of shows up in my very first reason why I love the Max 2, but it's hard to deny the fact that I can use this in every scenario of my life. This is now my official daily driver for work, and it's been a joy to be able to use this thing for work purposes. The keyboard is really, really nice to type on. Even though it's small, I feel like I'm not missing a beat when it comes to, just using it any way that I can think I would normally use my regular laptop for. This does the trick. Plus, it's more powerful than the one this one's replacing too. And that's a 2019 Razer Blade with about 16 cores on that GPU. So that was a little outdated. This is 8 cores, 16 threads. So, just being able to bring it to work, bring it to a coffee shop, bring it to, wherever you got to go. You can bring this on vacation with you as well. And the thing I like about it too is very discreet. Absolutely no one is going to mistake this thing for a handheld gaming device. People are going to think, oh, that must be like some kind of new tablet, or that might be just a really small laptop, or they might just flat out come out and ask you, what is that? I've never seen anything like that. So the GPD Win Max 2 is the only device that I've come across so far that I don't actually mind working with it all day and then coming home and sitting down on the couch and gaming with it too. No other device is like that. I have a couple desktop computers. When I'm working on my desktop, the last thing I want to do is use that device at night to game one. Not with the Max 2. The Max 2, I don't want to put it down all day. It's that form factor and that game-changing ability to be able to use in any circumstances, whatever it may be, is another reason why I absolutely love this thing. So let's take a moment to talk about what I don't like about the GPD Win Max 2. And that list is very, very short. But the first thing that I want to bring to your attention is, and it being the first thing that I want them to approve upon on somehow, is when I'm using it, it's not the most comfortable sitting on your lap. So I don't know if I can duplicate it in this video, but when it's sitting on your lap, the device is actually pretty heavy. It's really solid and compact. So when you're actually using it and you have it sitting on your lap, it could be a little bit of strain, if you're gaming on it with the thumbsticks and you're using it, and it could be a lot of pressure on your wrists. And if you're an older person or you're a person that, works, with your hands all day long, this may not be advice I'd recommend for you, because it could just cause you problems, because it feels like most of the weight is at the top end of the device. So like it's really like it weighs on your wrist a little bit. And because of that, it's hard to really go for a long period of time of just like holding it up gaming. There have been a lot of reviews about the GPD Win Max 2 that have talked about the comfort level of it. And I'll have to admit, it's not the most comfortable device to actually game on, which is probably why I use it docked primarily. But when I do, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy using it handheld, but you just can't do it for a long period of time. So that's the number one thing that I dislike about the GPD Win Max 2. So the second thing that I dislike about the Win Max 2, and hopefully they can make an improvement upon in the future, is the fact that, and it's such a bummer because this is almost the perfect device, the screen. 60 hertz. Come on, GPD. We can do much better than that. At 60 hertz, and it's nice because at the end of the day, I can play at 175 hertz, and I have another screen where I can play at, 360 hertz, if I can get the game to get that high. But the fact that we're limited to 60 hertz on this beautiful, IPS display, it's a shame. I think that if they're able to get this device to 120 hertz, it becomes a must-buy for many enthusiasts in the gaming handheld community. But as it stands right now, I feel like it's really kind of hard to justify a lot of folks when there are other options out there like, the Asus ROG Ally, Steam Deck OLED. They have those OLED screens. They're able to push the frame rates a little higher because the refresh rates on those screens are higher. This is sitting at 60 hertz, so it's holding this device back a little bit. I personally still love it. I personally still give a high recommendation, but that is something that a lot of folks are not necessarily going to like about it. And it's actually my second thing that I dislike about this device, and I hope they improve it in the future. All right, so which one will it be? Will it be the GPD Win Mini, or will it be the GPD Win Max 2? But before I give you my final thought on it, I do want to make mention that either of these devices, and this is just my own personal opinion recommendation, if you don't own a handheld device at all, and this is looking at this for your first purchase, I wouldn't buy this as my very first device. I would get one of the more mainstream devices like the Steam Deck OLED or the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go. I would get one of those first because I feel like when you start getting into these GPD devices, you're getting into more of the niche market, and these are devices that I would consider secondary devices. With that being said, the GPD Win Mini has a variety of different options and different things that we love about it, but the GPD Win Max 2 does. And my official winner out of the two, the GPD Win Mini against the GPD Win Max 2, the GPD Win Max 2 is the clear winner. If I could only have one, it's the one that I'm getting. It's the one that I'm going to recommend because there is nothing like it. There's nothing available like it. You can't get this experience anywhere. I hope it's coming across, but I'm so enthusiastic about this device because I literally can use it in any situation. I can bring it to a friend's house or a buddy's house that his wife may not necessarily like the idea of gaming. I can plop this right on the table. It can sit there for hours and no one even knows what it is. Like, this is literally a switchblade of like all different types of things that you'd want to do with it. It's beautiful to look at. It's beautiful to use. I've had zero issues with it. Performance has been outstanding. I've been getting legendary time spy scores. Games are running well with it. I've had zero issues with the RAM, bringing it up to 7500 megahertz. This thing is fantastic. So this one, as you can probably tell, gets the client's stamp of approval. It's a buy all day long. It wins the challenge with the GPD Win Mini. And I just want to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time to watch this video today and this comparison. If you have any suggestions or you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But until the next time, you all have a great day. Thanks for watching and we'll talk to you soon.